thank you so much for supporting us, and once again, welcome to Dimapur Today live talks. And today we have a very special guest with us, and he is the Padma Bhushan awardee, the five-time Chief Minister of Nagaland, and he was also the governor of more than 4 states, and he is no other than Dr. S. Jamir. Thank you so much, sir, for this privilege, for this opportunity. Okay, yes, friends, and today we are with Dr. S. Jamir with some few questions. I believe, so he will be giving us a very satisfactory answer. Sir. Okay. So in present context, and he is one of the living signatory of the 16-point agreement.
Yeah. I'm the only one now.
The only one.
Yes.
And the 16-point agreement was the turning point for the Naga political issues. After that, the formation of Nagaland, it took place.
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, my question today with you is, how do you see the talks that is going in between the government of India and the various Naga political groups at the moment?
Now there are only 2 groups as such.
2 groups.
Yeah. Yes. NSNI.
Yes.
And then BG only. No.
Yes, sir.
2 groups only.
2 groups.
Yeah.
So what do you see? How do you see?
Well, both the groups, they have already drawn up their agreement.
Yes, sir.
First, on 3rd August 2015, between NSNIM and Government of India, which they call it Framework Agreement. Then on 17 November 2017, again there is an agreement between NNPG and Government of India. So both of them have already signed their respective agreements with the Government of India.
Okay, sir. So how do you see you at the moment?
Well, we have only seen the periphery of that agreement, except by this Naga National Political Group. They have shown the entire text.
Yes, sir.
But I have not seen the competencies of the NSNIM, except that framework agreement which they have circulated. And there I have seen very interesting few issues, and which I would like to explain to you.
Okay, sir. Please.
The one was the Government of India has recognized the uniqueness of Naga history. That was one point. Second point was they appreciate the delicate issues of the Government of India. Thirdly, they said very categorically that we accept the contemporary political realities. So these are the 3 very important statements they have made. As far as uniqueness of Naga history, according to my personal opinion, Government of India, even while signing the 16-point agreement, it was the first political agreement after independence, because state reorganization was made on the basis of language. But with Nagas, it was through political agreement that the statehood was framed. Why? It was a unique agreement. And under 371A, the Government of India have recognized few things, very special one. One is social and religious practices. Secondly, land and its resources. And the other special power, that's different. But these are the unique. And this is meant only for Nagaland. And therefore, as far as uniqueness of Naga people are concerned, Government of India have recognized, incorporated in the Constitution of India under Article 371A.
Yes.
That's my interpretation. Secondly, when the IMF recognized the intricacies of Indian politics, all these intricacies were thoroughly discussed in the Constituent Assembly for 1 year by the representative of the people. And all these intricacies were resolved and they have put into Constitution of India. And from time to time, in order to accommodate these intricacies, then constitutional amendment has been there. And therefore this also, I think, fulfilled. Now they said they also recognized the imperative contemporary political realities. I think that is the gist of this framework agreement. Recognizing the contemporary realities of the world, of the country, of the state. While signing that framework agreement, both sovereignty and integration didn't appear there. So they have really recognized the imperative contemporary political realities. Right. And whatever they had drawn up, I believe this will be in the best interest of the Naga people and the government of India, because these are the only things that they can do under the burden imperative contemporary political realities. So I think we should support whatever they have done on this issue. That's what I believe.
Okay, so what is your viewpoint on the demand of the separate constitution and the flag by the Anishinaabe?
My simple explanation is this. People may not agree.
Okay, sir.
When Fizo lead the independent movement, he has never talked about flag or constitution. Why? Because an independent country, a sovereign country, both flag and constitution are the attributes of a sovereign, independent country. Yes, but in our case, they have agreed to resolve the problem within the parameter of the Constitution of India. And on the altar of this framework agreement, they have consciously, formally dropped these two items of sovereignty and integration. And therefore, to me, you require attire or uniform or dress only for a living person, not for a dead person.
Yes, sir.
So when there is no sovereignty, why should you go on insisting on this flag and constitution? That is my personal view.
Personal view. So do you think that the Nagaland can achieve sovereignty after coming across all these things, in coming this?
You see, if you read the statement of late General Kohli,
okay, sir,
on 29th February 2012, when they have a big meeting in this Agri Expo, what did he say?
Yes, sir.
He said, Moiba was honest. He was very sincere in telling us the truth. In 2011, in this Nishado's they call it place, Moiba told us that giving in view the international situation, sovereignty is not possible. In view of the attitude of both India and Myanmar, integration also not possible. So factually, these two important issues were buried by themselves on 29th February 2012. And therefore, I have no other comment because they themselves have said, and they have been demanding, they also realize that under the imperative contemporary realities, political realities, it's not possible.
Not possible.
So they themselves said, so we should say Amen, that's all.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir, during your tenure as the Chief Minister
Yeah.
of Nagaland, you had rejected the 2001 population census.
Yes, yes.
So, do you think like 2001 census should be the basis for the delimitation?
You see, here in Nagaland, sorry to say that, people don't go into the genesis of how we carve out state, how we have delimitation in the first instance. They don't go it. I'm telling you.
Okay.
When we were granted state, then the question arose, as a full-fledged state of Nagaland, we should have assembly. And in order to have assembly, you should have members. But that time, we have only 3.5 lakhs population. And if we go at at bar with rest of the country, you'll have hardly 6-7 MLAs. So the question arose, then how do we have delimitation of constituencies? So we check up. Then the government of India said, under Article 170, there they have prescribed the maximum number 500. The minimum is 60. Therefore, we have taken the 60 as assembly seats. It is not a population, but since it was a constitutional provision, the minimum, so we have taken that minimum. Then how have we decided to have that delimitation? Nagaland is purely a tribal state.
Yes, sir, definitely.
And therefore, while drawing up delimitation, we should reflect the tribal entity or identity. So if you see now, Dimapur district, only Simas. Mogokchong, only Aos. Mon, only Konyaks. In this way, that we have maintained tribal identity because it's a tribal state, number one. That time, first delimitation, this Noksan area of Tunsang division, it was glubbed with Longling. So there was opposition. How can this chance be amalgamated with Bhom? So yes, recognizing their tribal ethos, identity, we agreed to bring it Noksan as a small constituency of the chance. In this way, we have done. Another one was, we compared Manipur. The plains, the population is 2/3. Area is 1/3. Hill area, population is 1/3 and area is 2/3. But the plains has been dominating the political structure of Manipur all along. So we don't like to have that kind of picture in Nagaland. Therefore, in the hill areas, even for small constituency, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 like this. But in Dimapur, 50,000, 40,000 because it's a plains area. And Dimapur 1 was reserved as an open seat. So in this way, we have strictly maintained tribal character even in delimitation. But what is going on now, I am a retired man, so I don't know that one.
Okay, so with time, elections, it's becoming more corrupt. So, what is your message for clean election?
If Nagaland has to survive as one of the jewels of India,
Yes, sir.
the first and foremost thing is we have to reform electoral process drastically. Because we have totally commercialized politics.
Very true.
And there's lots of difference between politics and commerce. And therefore, if Naga people have to show that this is also a state to be reckoned with in the committee of this country. I think we should have a thorough overhauling of electoral process. And that is possible only when not only the population, but leaders should realize that only committed, devoted politicians should join this in the service of people. Now it is only we talk only about MLA ministership. But I wished the younger generation should join politics out of commitment.
With a commitment.
Yeah. Then once you join with commitment, obviously all this will be cleaned up. And Nagaland will definitely emerge as one of the beacon of this tribal people in the country. That's what I feel.
Okay. So it is said that after your active role in, your retirement in active politics, NPCC, Nagaland Pradesh Congress, it has lost its direction. Is it true?
Unfortunately, Naga people only look to ruling party. Now we have imported so many political parties in Nagaland, which we don't require. Why? Everyone would like to be a leader of this party, that party. Okay. They don't have interest in the future of Naga people. It's only just for publicity. And if Naga people, I think, started copying this process, we shall be nowhere. Because Nagaland, we should have either either 2 or 3 parties only. And national party, I even now feel that unless we are in a national party, I think we shall always our mental attitude, our vision will be always very narrow. Because what is regional party? Today, actually, there is no policy also. It's only how to become MLA, how to capture power. Besides that, they don't have any political, I think, ideology as such. Whereas national party, they have political ideology. That's my experience.
So you favor more of this national party?
Yes, because Nagaland has to grow. Why you all talking about as if we are different people? I think we should also feel that we are also citizens of the country and the world. That kind of this mental makeup should be there. Why should you always isolate yourself as if you are somebody? Because no, you are also a human being.
So you encourage youths to join national party more than regional?
Yeah, that'd be better for our people.
Okay, so what is your viewpoint on this NLTP? Nagaland Total Liquor Prohibition Act. Was it successful?
I was against this as a chief minister. But church leaders started having dharna and so many hunger strike like this. But I told them, yes, if you want to have profit, yes, I'll agree, but it will fail. Because in America, first they have experimented in the 30s, it failed. In Gujarat, they have failed. In Maharashtra, everywhere they failed. Why? Because it is not possible. Because in European countries, this is part of their food menu. And here also, we are only thinking in terms of this whiskey, rum, but we are brewing up by ourselves. So, if you said, thou shalt not do, then the urges to do it more will be there. Therefore, let us not prohibit. Let us only control. But our church leaders, they were so adamant. So I said, well, so I comply with it. And I think it has totally failed. So why should we allow our people to drink spurious drink from Assam? That is, many people are dying. So it's better that churches also should realize their mistake, We have to go along with the changes.
So
even if there's prohibition, we are drinking more.
Yes, very true. So according to you, it's a failure? It's a failure.
It's better to lift and then let government have direct. Now government have no control.
Yes, sir.
There's no prohibition, no?
No prohibition.
Yeah.
Very true, sir. Okay, so coming back to Dimapur, so do you think implementing ILP, inner line permit, is it a wise decision?
My reply was,
Okay, sir.
sooner or later,
Yes, sir.
within 10 years, 15 years, 20 years,
Yes, sir.
we shall be looking to the east. And once Ag East policy is fully matured, there will be tremendous influx of people from Southeast Asian countries.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For what? For business, for scholarship, for like this, as tourists. Will you be able to have inner line that side or not? I think we should be a little far-sighted, no?
Yes, sir. Very.
British time it was required, not in our interest, you see?
Yes, yes.
But we also think that British has done only in our interest. No, it was their interest. So here, this inner line, we have to review in which way we can implement this inner line, because it is part of the 16-point agreement also. But how far we can make it as a visible face. It's only a name now. So we should not use it as a political weapon now. Even youth group, even NGOs, all this, they are talking about this as if this is the only obstacle for our, no. Because after 10 years, 20 years, Eastern people, it will be a floodgate.
Yeah,
that time you will not be able to say no. You say more. You will welcome them because they will be coming for economic development. And no distant region will be economic boom. So we should think about what will happen after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. But today, everything is politicized. That's why all men like me, I don't like to poke my nose on this. I am just watching, that's why.
So what is your message to the youths of Nagaland and entrepreneurs?
Youth of Nagaland should imbibe the spirit of Israel. Because Israel people said, we must survive, number one. We must excel and we must dominate. That spirit we should imbibe, and we should also imbibe the spirit of Singaporean.
Yes, sir. Singaporean.
Spirit of Singapore is discipline.
Yes.
Hard work and determination. And if we can, this spirit of both Israel and Singapore, Nagaland cannot suffer anymore as we're suffering today. Actually, we shall lead, definitely, because our younger generations are very intelligent. But where's the space? Where's the environment? We have created only choking, suffocated environment. So how can they play? So once settlement comes, once system is stabilized, Naga people will definitely come up. But I am only urging them to imbibe the spirit of what I mentioned now.
So in your journey of politics, for the decades, like it is, we have come to learn that many times some antisocial elements, they tried to assassinate you.
That's true.
Have you forgiven them?
Yes. In Pocopoto public meeting,
Okay, sir.
I announced once.
Okay, sir.
Then in Delhi court, they have also summoned me to give statement. So underground people are also there who have attempted. I said, I forgave them, so don't invite me anymore. Then when I met Moeva and his group, and when I was governor of Maharashtra,
Yes, sir.
I told him also that I have already forgiven all of you, so nothing from my side. So we have to live together as brothers and sisters only.
In true Christian spirit, you have forgiven them.
That's all. I have already forgiven them.
You have forgiven them.
Yeah.
You're a great man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You were the 5-time Chief Minister of Nagaland. Okay, sir. So what is your view on Nagaland still being underdeveloped?
Pardon?
Underdeveloped. Why Nagaland is still underdeveloped?
It is because of hostility, obviously, insurgency. We have too many governments now, so many prime ministers, so many commander-in-chief, so many brigadiers, so many. How do they survive? Not from any development, but only from, they don't like to hear extortion, but from taxation, illegal taxation. So when people are made only skin and bone, how can you expect development like this? Number one. And when there are too many agencies, then the normal functioning of the government is already paralyzed. Now they don't arrest. They fly their flag on Independence Day, Republic Day, yes. So it's like a de facto. So it's very difficult to make out in Nagaland who is who. And because of this, when in a tiny state you have too many these governments, then no government will function. And that is exactly what is happening today. And today we are facing the consequence of complete derailment of administration and standstill of this development and heavy taxation from all sorts. So what is the hallmark of Nagaland? Multiple government, multiple taxation, no development, high employment, problem. So that is the hallmark of Nagaland today, because it is our own creation. And therefore it should be cleaned up by having early political settlement. And let us function normally as any other states in the country. But as long as this problem continues, Nagaland will go deeper, 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 deeper. And it will become a failed state. And I don't think younger generation may not like to live in a failed state. So it is the younger generation who should wake up, that create us a future. That should be the demand of the younger generation. You give us our future. And that should be the slogan of the younger generation. That's what I know.
Yes, sir. By when do you think the Indo-Naga talks will be finalized, the peace talk, settlement, political settlement?
Everything they have talked of for so long. What kind of negotiation? We finished in 3 days, 16-point agreement. Because first convention, second convention, third convention. All tribes assembled there, discuss. 5 days, last day in 59. Then arguing, shouting like this. But at last, unanimous decision. So people were involved there. So we could finish, ready-made. And then 3 days we could finish.
What is lacking behind for the present negotiators?
They have never consulted people. They only talk among themselves. Otherwise, it had been completed long ago.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, friends, for joining with us. And we'll be joining with our doctors, sir, in coming days too. And thank you so much. And yes, lastly, I would like to give special thanks to the chairman of minority cell of minority department of Nagaland Pradesh Congress, Mr. Rajesh Sethi, for arranging this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.